Scholars! Welcome to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and I didn't know exactly what to call this week in Bungie. Well, it's technically this last week because it's Monday that you're watching this. We'll just call it, what did Bungie fuck up last week? I guess is that good? Is that a good title? Is that engagement improved? But Destiny Found Dead is actually not even a meme anymore. It is actually becoming a reality. Whoops, they almost knocked off the Fadebringer. It is actually, I'm not even joking, it's becoming reality at this point. And not only that, it's just weird that even like Bungie, the cult of Bungie is becoming more of an actual thing. Because I always use that as like a joke, like Bungie ball finders, shills, whatever, right? But I think there's actually a cult being formed by the Bungie community or the Bungie fanboys. And it is crazy. But we'll jump into it. Like, I have my cheat sheet, you know, I have an actual, not necessarily a script, but a flow, and we're gonna do the video a little different. So let me know how you feel about it. So let me know if you feel like you like the setup, you like the presentation, a little bit more effort and creativity being put in just for you instead of just your normal reacts. All right, so let's talk about it. We're talking about Destiny being found dead in a ditch. Or maybe it was sent off to an orphanage because it's the unwanted first child. That's what it feels like. A lot of people in the Destiny community feel like Bungie has abandoned the game or is pushing it off to the side as if it's no longer the important topic, which is weird. Whether you like Marathon or not, I think we can all agree that Bungie has not been doing a good enough job to satiate and appease the Destiny community. We can agree, right? Marathon has definitely taken resources away from Destiny. It's very blatant. It's very obvious. And Bungie themselves has, like, they literally said that they could do both Destiny and Marathon. And known liar Bungie proves that they can't. That's right. You gotta be wary and skeptical because known liar Bungie is caught lying once again. They are notorious lying liars. This is why I keep. I'm gonna continue this parroting that I keep saying, and every time I talk about Marathon, I don't understand where the faith in Marathon or specifically Bungie is coming from. That they think Marathon is going to be successful or it's going to do what Destiny couldn't do, even though it's made by the same freaking people. It's literally the same people that are making it. This is a common occurrence that not a single damn person can formulate a valid counterpoint or argument or a conversation that they can really say, you know what, I have faith in Bungie because of X, Y, and Z. Well, it doesn't exist. Bungie has too much of a history, a rap. You know, we've got proof in the pudding, and I think Destiny, just as is living proof currently in its state and how Bungie handles it. But we're gonna jump into that. Like, let's look at the company that people seem to give undying loyalty, like almost cult level. Like, I'm talking about, like, we have religious zealots. And then we have cult leaders, like cultists that believe that the company can do no wrong, that they ignore all the faults, that everything is just going to be fine. I'm going to literally knock this off and break it one day. The thing that Bungie likes to do through the weeks is they like to do modifiers as a substitute for events. Like, one of the big events is Iron Banner, which has been pretty neglected. Like, I think we went from having 2-3 different Iron Banners for a season to just one, and it's so weird because we have so many dead weeks, so many times where you could fit Iron Banner or some other activity, and Bungie's solution is we're just gonna put a modifier. But we have a tweet where the modifier was Text Mechanica overpowering, which would boost, you know, obviously boost it in the portal, but it didn't work. It's boring, and it didn't work. That's right. The whole event, the whole exciting week before that was heavy. Ooh, more heavy. Wow, we're really making engagement in Destiny. We're really getting people to come back into the game. We're doing such a fantastic job. Bungie also, last week we also got the announcement of the pre-orders for Marathon, and it is so comical because when you pre-ordered Marathon, it forced you to download Destiny 2. These are two different games for two different audiences, even though Bungie's desperately trying to get Destiny players to buy Marathon, even though they're completely separate and not even in the same reality of what they are trying to accomplish and achieve. But it was forcing, Bungie couldn't even program their fucking pre-orders correctly. The pre-orders would force you to install Destiny 2. I think a lot of people who've never dealt with Bungie just got their first taste of what's in store for them if you think Marathon is going to be better than Destiny. A good thing for people who are rooting for Marathon, remember, Bungie doesn't do Q&A. You do. You're the beta tester, not the company. But if it doesn't just stop there, this Bungie's success in being able to design and create video games and updates spilled over into Destiny once again, because when you pre-ordered, not only did you download Destiny, but if you actually had Destiny and you actually wanted the cosmetics, if you downloaded and actually have the cosmetics, it would crash your game. That's right, having Marathon cosmetics would crash Destiny. You could play it. And I'm not making this up. It is incredibly ironic that Bungie's new baby would give cosmetics to its abandoned baby, and the abandoned baby just dies. It just dies because of the cosmetics. It's almost poetic. It's what's actually happening. But hey, don't worry. If you logged into Destiny, you were surprised, not just by a banner, but you found out that Destiny 2 has a brand new expansion. That's right, new content for you to pre-order right now. It's called Marathon. Listen, I get advertising, well, like the banner and all that shit, but there is some kind of tone deaf, greedy assholery to neglect Destiny, to not provide valuable, good service to your life service product, but then to advertise your new product in that neglected product. It is so tone deaf, and it goes to show that Bungie does not give a shit about you. They only care about money. Again, more proof that you should never have faith in them. And don't listen to the Bungie ball fondlers out there. The game could burn and they will still suck the peen of Bungie. But even in their This Week in Destiny last Thursday, we got what you would think and hope that the community was hoping for would be a roadmap, especially with the numbers dropping off into nothing. But what we got was not the roadmap. 2 months ago, they said that they would give us a roadmap. We have heard nothing but crickets, not even echoes, nothing. There's been, what's sad is that we got leaks from Paul Tassi, who apparently has an inside information that Shadow and Order, the season that comes out in a month or so, 36 days, I think, is about to come out, and it's going to be delayed. But we have heard nothing about that, which is really, really weird that they would wait. If it's confirmed and it's decided they're going to delay it, why not just say it's going to be delayed? Even if you don't have a date, at least you could just say, hey, we're going to delay it. I mean, the only roadmap we have, anything to do with road, the only road we have is the one that people are taking to get off the off-ramp from Destiny. We're taking the road where everyone's jumping off the cliff to avoid Destiny. Numbers are worse than almost comparative to Edge of Fate. So much for Renegades really bringing us back, because we're not back. We're at the same spot we've always been. Oh, sorry. some people say that you can't use Steam numbers. Guys, you can't use Steam numbers. They're completely irrelevant. They totally irrelevant at all. That's right. It doesn't represent any kind of trend. You can't use Steam numbers to talk about the Destiny population. Here, let me help you with that. That should change the perspective of the player count, right? Right? No. I love people that try to gaslight and be toxic positive and delude themselves. Like, people, like, it's obvious that you can look at Steam charts and it shows the same trend of concern, and everyone should be concerned. If you like Destiny, you should be concerned. If you hate Destiny, well, you're probably happy that it's dying. But if you like Destiny or want Destiny to succeed or be better in the future, you should be concerned. I know content creators are. That's why they're trying to jump on the marathon bandwagon. Listen, I know people like to live in their little padded walls of their little safe space. Guys, I don't like the doom posting. You can't, I don't want to share. I don't want to look at the data. Guess what? It's only doom when it's true. And it's doom because you don't want to hear reality. You don't want to see the reality, which is stupid. Because if it's bad, we need to continue to put pressure on the billion-dollar company. It's only bad because you don't want to hear it. And if you don't want to hear it, then get off the fucking internet. People just want to play a damn good game. And guess what? Bungie is neglecting what used to be a damn good game. Literally, I didn't buy stuff that I enjoyed about Destiny because I fucking hate it. I bought it because I actually enjoy it. I have multiple Destiny things. And I think a lot of people that are upset and criticizing and doom posting are upset and criticizing Bungie, and they're not going to shut up, and nor should they shut up. You should absolutely ring hellfire down upon the billion-dollar company that is continuing to offer you a paid live service. That's right. You're paying them a live service, and they're not even giving you a premium, giving you a bare minimal viable product. Don't listen to the content creators. Don't listen to the shills, the Bungie ball fondlers, the doormats, the lap dogs, the peen suckers, the dick suckers, whatever you want to call them. These are the people that you should not value their opinion. Their interest is not best for you. It's interest for them, Bungie, and the business to which they run. And don't let anyone say, oh, it's not a job. If they are working with Bungie, if they have friends with Bungie, they are in league and doing a business with Bungie. But let's continue on this dark hole that we're going through. Talk about darkness. Let's talk about the Dark Ages. Bungie announced in last week that they're doing a challenge. That's right, the Dark Age challenge, where you can only use bows and swords and glaives in the Warlord's Ruin dungeon, which, by the way, is my favorite dungeon. I love the aesthetic. I love the encounters. Awesome, right? The problem is it's soft sunsetted. That's right. None of thing matters in it. Like none of the weapons, the armors is outdated. Everything about it is soft sunsetted except for the exotic, right? But Bungie's going to do a challenge where you guys, that's right, you guys can earn a cool emblem that kind of gives you like Dark Souls vibes, right? You can earn it, but you have to first own the dungeon. And guess what? The dungeon, even though it's soft sunsetted and is not relevant anymore, you have to pay full price. That's right. It's not even discounted, nor do they discount dungeons because Bungie's a greedy fuck. Go figure. But that's not it. That's not all. That's right. This fun community challenge requires you to swipe and drop your pants and buy something that is irrelevant if you don't already own it and you don't get a discount for it. You have to buy it. You also have to record it. That's right. You have to record your run. It's not something that just automatically unlocks, like a little cool challenge that they have. No, you have to record yourself playing and then upload it to be eligible. Listen, it's easy for me to record shit like that, but not everyone can record, especially on PC or the Xbox. unless like how I'm trying to think, how do you upload it to their website from Xbox? Maybe you have to go through the Google. Like, it is just so contrived and so stupid that very few people are really gonna fucking do it, right? Let's be honest. Very few people are gonna fucking do it that don't have the means to do it. If they're like me and you have your own equipment and you're recording, like you could do it, right? You probably already have the dungeon and stuff. What this should have been was a cool little challenge to introduce people into dungeons and get them to come back to the game, and it should have been free. That's right. And Bungie has done free weekends, right? They've done it before a big expansion. They've done free weekends or free play the expansion, play the content for a certain amount of time for free. And they didn't even bother do that for this dungeon to try to get new players, returning players, because Bungie doesn't care. It's just this challenge, this Dark Age challenge is just noise. They're trying to make you think that there's something going on, but there's nothing going on. It's a fucking emblem. That you're doing all that just for, oh, go back and play old content for a fucking emblem. Wow. You're doing so good, Timmy. Aren't you having fun yet? Like, this is the shit that Bungie does, is they're really good at manipulating, deceiving, and making you feel like there's a lot going on when actually there's nothing at all. Listen, I'll say it again. I don't understand the faith that people have in this company where they think Marathon is going to be better or do more, or the fact that Bungie will show it respect. That's the thing. We could talk about the launch numbers and people playing the game. Let's talk long term. We can just look at how Bungie treats current PvP and how cheaters are infesting this game, and it's completely neglected. Are we really going to have faith that Bungie is going to do well with Marathon long term? Like, that's what people should be really concerned. Forget the beginning numbers, though. I told you I was gonna. Yep. Then. Good news, it didn't break. Whoops, technical difficulties. Fatebringer was trying to change fate. Oh yeah. I wish we could change the fate of how things are going with Bungie. Listen, we need to address this. Okay, we need to address this. Can you be excited for a new game? Oh yeah, baby, absolutely. Can you hate a game? Absolutely. You can decide it's not for you, right? We can agree. Not every game is meant for everyone, nor should it be. Because a game for everyone is a game for no one. Can you hate Bungie for taking resources from Destiny to Marathon? Absolutely. If you are a supporter, if you've bought and purchased the content in Destiny, you've consumed the content, and you feel like Bungie has made it go down in quality to fund their baby Marathon, you have a right to hate Bungie. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. You have a right. You're a consumer. You have a right. Can you be hopeful that Marathon pops off and it does well? Absolutely. These are normal ways to look at video games. You can absolutely be on one side or the other. It's okay. It's all good. It's groovy. But there is a point where things start getting weird. Like calling every game that you don't like another Concord. Listen, I get you hate Bungie, or you hate the game and you want it to fail, you want Bungie to fail. We get it. People will always hate things. That's just a natural order of life. Sure, we can have we wish moments of we wish we would like things. We have these high hopes. Reality would be different, but the reality is, as it is, people will always hate things. You will never be able to change that. What's weirder and more problematic than that is when you have a weird cult devotion and faith in a billion-dollar company in game that isn't even out. Especially blind faith when the billion-dollar company has done nothing for you. That is where you're crossing the line. Like, I don't believe anyone, and this was an argument that I had someone in the comment section where they're trying to say it's about the art. You have to separate the art from the artist, which makes no fucking sense because the art comes from the artist. It's like, what are you talking about? You can't seriously think you can act like Bungie making and running Marathon will not have any impact on Marathon, especially when you can clearly see how they treat and run Destiny. You can't ignore that. Like, oh no, how Bungie runs Destiny and treats Destiny, that will never happen in Marathon. It will never. No. See, that's the old Bungie, and this is the new Bungie. This is the Marathon Bungie. That's Destiny Bungie. Guys, you've got to give them a chance, guys. Give them a chance. This new Bungie that's running Marathon is going to do all the right things. Like, I can't believe these are real conversations I'm having with the cult of Bungie, but I guess you shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be surprised. Listen, it's time for a public service announcement. And I'm tired of seeing it not just for Marathon, but other games. The top sells for Steam, and I'm even saying for like the top seller on consoles, is not significant and should not be used as a data point to show and prove any kind of point of success or narrative changes. Unlike player counts with concurrent players, Steam sales are skewed and often impacted by multiple variables. It lacks validity in the argument that they're trying to make, especially in the narrative about Marathon is more positive. I don't think you're doing yourself a service by using invalid fallacies to achieve this. You see, the data suffers from confounding, where the effect of the independent variable, and what you're trying to prove overall, cannot be separated from the effects of others, the other uncontrolled variables. I mean, well, let's talk about the first data point, right? First off, previous data of games like Dragon Age, Black Ops 7, and even Edge of Fate, the expansion, was a top seller on the Steam charts, only for them to be deemed as failures. I mean, even Black Ops 7 is now deemed one of the worst Call of Duties since 2008. But we're gonna use the top seller as a indication of any kind of actual change in the grand gaming audience? No. And now Marathon has dropped off the sales chart. Like, it is skydived all the way down. But don't worry, Bungie, the cult of Bungie are out there trying to do damage control and have already tried to move the goalposts for their arguments to try to plead and continue to do the narrative control that is trying to make things look better than what they are. A perfect example is streamer Leopard, who, by the way, I don't know where the switch went from, hey, I'm just gonna be, happy and excited for things, to I'm balls deep down my throat for Bungie. Like, absolute clown behavior. Like, he is trying to misconstrue data in the most egregious manner. Like, this is why you should never listen to Leopard and all these other Bungie ball fondlers, these leaders and the Bungie community. Do not listen to these people. They are not there for your interests. They're for their interests only. They are trying to manipulate and control a narrative that is not valid. See, Leopard tried to be clever and has moved the goalpost to Marathon is the top pre-orders, not overall in the top sales, but the top pre-order sales. That's right. But when you look at the list, there's some glaring issues if you dissect, which we are, why this is a inappropriate and invalid argument to even make. When you look all of the variables, which we're going to do now, you see a different picture. Let's start with number one. It's competing against single player games and not any live service multiplayer games. Yeah, really hard. A lot of competition, guys, when you're facing off against single player games. Marathon really competing in the live service field right there. Those pre-orders, woo! Number two, it's not competing against top contender games, and the ones that are popular, such as Resident Evil, Marathon is already losing to. In fact, I think that's even, since I'm recording, I think its placement in the pre-orders has also dropped. I think some of these other lower unpopular games are even beating out Marathon now in pre-order sales. Number 3, March is actually a high volume month for popular game releases, often serving as a major launch window for AAA titles rather than a slow period. It is considered to be part of a spring surge and acts as a crucial deadline for many publishers to release games before the end of the physical year, which is actually what's happening in Marathon. Like, they're trying to shove Marathon out the door before the end of the year for Sony. With that being said, there really isn't anything filling that space. This gives Marathon a soft window for success. Like, literally, there is no competition. It is a window that usually would have a lot coming out, but has very little actual competition in that time slot. When you stop and think logically and reasonable about how things are, and you look at the data and analyze it correctly, you come to actual reasonable conclusions rather than I'm going to use this to manipulate and try to achieve my own narrative. Like, you can make anything data-wise fit your narrative, but if you actually look at what the data is saying and how it's actually being used, you actually see a better picture. Like, let's be honest, at base value, yeah, Marathon was the top pre-order, but when you actually look at why it was the top pre-order, you realize it's not a heavy competition in the slot in the first place. It's not very many popular titles, and there is no real live service competition or anything else overly exciting that would really compete. Like, what are we talking about? Move the goalpost all you want. You're not going to change the narrative, and you're only going to make yourself look worse. Like, I'm going to be honest, if Marathon actually flops, Leopard is going to look like a giant ass. Here's the deal, kids. If you need to attempt to convince others that a game that you like is good, or that you have to try to convince them that they're wrong, their opinion about a game is wrong, that says more about you and your confidence in your purchase than it does the person that has already made up their mind that they don't like something. Like, the desperation that you continue to see where people are desperately trying to, like, I keep seeing this comparison to Arc Raiders from people that are supposedly excited for Marathon, and they're trying to dog Arc Raiders. That makes it seem like you are not confident in your game, that you have to try to diminish the already competitive field of Arc Raiders to try to make you feel more confident in your decision to like Marathon or play Marathon. Let's just be $150. You shouldn't have, like, people are going to hate, and it's going to happen. But if you are confident in a game and you're excited for a game, who gives a fuck? Someone else's opinion should not impact yours. Someone's opinion shouldn't change whether you like something or not. But if you are feeling uncomfortable or uneasy or upset because of what other people are saying, then that means you are not confident in the game that you supposedly like. And that says more about you than them. And I'm saying this more to the extreme side where you have people like Leopard out there clowning around and making themselves look like fools, trying to manipulate, deceive, and make invalid arguments. And it's not the only one. There's a bunch of other content creators doing similar things, and even people on Twitter. Let's be honest here. You're only doing yourself a disservice, especially if the game crashes and fails. People will look at you. It will look at you. Absolutely. They'll look at you and you will be crucified. And I won't feel sorry. Usually I would feel sorry for stuff like that, but I won't feel sorry for anyone who acts like this for a Marathon. You will get crucified. Absolutely. And you deserve it. Acting like a fool. Which is why I always say, look at the player count, which is why I always do with Destiny. I always look at player count. I always look at the actual vibes of what is actually out there versus hypotheticals. That's my thoughts. Anyways, I find the whole situation, the blind faith in a billion-dollar company that has not earned it, the cult of Bungie is a real thing, and I'm going to be being really interested to see how the next 2 months go. Maybe 3. Like, April might be just as interesting. We'll have to see, because like I said, just because you have a good launch or maybe you have a bad launch does not mean they couldn't, like, we're not even thinking about they have a bad launch. The next months could be better. They could improve the game. I mean, we saw Cyberpunk be a complete failure at launch and then completely turned it around a year later. We've seen miracles happen. Fallout 76, One Man's Sky, or whatever it's called. Like, we've seen those moments. So unless it's an actual Concord where it dies the first week or second week, don't count anything out yet. Always just be, always be skeptical is my thoughts in general for gaming nowadays. Always be skeptical. But I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. As always, I'll see you in the next one. And as always, game out. Huzzah.